Hare Krishna. So, this is a very wonderful question which has come from one of the devotees who is a part of our WhatsApp group, and her name is Bhashwati Das. And Bhashwati Mataji has asked this beautiful question. Let me read it out. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I would like to know what is ahankar so that we can get rid of it. Yes, a very beautiful question. Thank you so much, Mataji, for asking this question. Uh, so, answering it, uh, ahankar or pride. First, if we want to understand this ahankar or pride, we need to understand from where does it originate. Okay, so ahankar or pride originates from ego. Okay, and when we speak about ego, ego is of two types. One is the true ego, and another one is the false ego. Yes. So, and ahankar actually arises from the false ego. Okay. So, as soon as a living entity enters into this material world, okay, immediately Maya takes over and it completely covers that living entity. It completely shrouds that living entity with her illusory energy. Okay. So, now when a living entity is covered by this illusory energy, then this false ego actually manifests in that living entity. Yeah, okay. And what is this false ego? Anything, any understanding pertaining to this body, okay, is known as false ego or body consciousness. Okay. So for example, like I can say that, okay, my name is so and so. I am a man, I'm a woman, I am an Indian, I'm an American, I'm an Australian. Okay, this is my spouse, these are my kids, this is my family, these are my parents, all sorts of things. So basically, any person, place, animal, or thing, which we can associate or which we can relate to this particular body, this gross body that I have, okay, that is known as false ego, okay, and this false ego is the root cause of pride, okay, it gives rise to pride actually, okay, and because of all the things that are around, and because we are completely shrouded by illusory energy, okay, we become proud of what we have. Okay, this is one of the reasons. True ego, on the other hand, is the real understanding, the real knowledge of who I am. Okay, we have already been discussing here in ISKCON that we are not this body, we are the spirit souls. Yes, and we are eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. How can we confirm this? Like, is this my thought process? No, it's not like that. Lord Sri Krishna himself confirms this in the Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That means each and every living entity are my eternal parts and parcels. Okay. So, this particular understanding that I am a spirit soul, I am not the body, okay, and I am eternal part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna, and I am a loving servant of Krishna. Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishner Nityadas. Okay, this is a teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishner Nityadas. That my eternal Swarupa, okay, is that I am a eternal loving servant of Sri Krishna. Yes. So this understanding is known as the true ego. And when a person is situated in a true ego, and he keeps Lord Sri Krishna in the center, and all his activity revolve around Sri Krishna. Okay, then such a person is said to be situated in true ego or Krishna consciousness, and such people are already liberated souls. Okay, even though they appear to be existing in this material world, such people are already liberated. Okay, but since we are talking about pride, we will talk about false ego a little bit more. Okay. So another symptom of false ego is the doership mentality. Okay. And because of this doership mentality, pride actually creeps in. Okay. So what is this doership mentality? That okay, say for example, uh, I started some business from the scratch. Okay, and I become a very rich businessman. Okay, in the due course of time, then it's quite likely that I'll be very proud of what I have achieved. Okay, that oh, I started this company from the scratch, and today because of my hard work, I have just taken it to new heights, right? So this is a doership mentality. Okay, or I have married my son, or I have married off my daughter in such a grand way. Okay, so this is another doership mentality. These are some examples that I'm citing. Okay, which happens in our day-to-day life. Okay, because of my hard work and because of my dedication, this particular project, which was stuck for so many years, has successfully been delivered now. Okay. See, people have acknowledged me and I have been awarded the employee of the year. Okay. So these are the doership mentality. Okay. That whatever I do, I take the credit of that. Okay. But and this comes from the false ego or the body consciousness. Okay. Mind you, the true ego, on the other hand, says something else, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasha ahankara vimhudatma kartaham iti manyate. Okay, a spirit soul bewildered by the false ego thinks himself to be the doer of all activities, which are in fact carried out by the three modes of material nature. Okay, this is what Lord Sri Krishna is saying, right? So the correct understanding is that I am eternal part and parcel of Sri Krishna. I am a spirit soul, and then as a spirit soul, I cannot do anything. Okay, this is a very, very important point to understand. Okay, if this understanding is clear, then we can always be situated, we can always remain situated in the true ego. A spirit soul cannot do anything. A spirit soul can only desire. Okay, say for example, okay, I want to eat some gulab jamuns. Okay, I have the desire of eating some gulab jamuns. Okay, so as a spirit soul, I have this desire, okay, to eat gulab jamuns. Now what happens? Paramatma, okay, Lord Sri Krishna, who is seated as Paramatma in my heart, he will scan my entire lifetime, not just this lifetime, but all the births that I have taken so far. Okay. And he will see that, okay, does this fellow has sufficient pious credits so that this desire can be sanctioned or not? Okay. So when Lord Sri Krishna sees that, okay, he was a reasonably good person, he has sufficient pious credits, so yes, let me sanction the desire. Then what happens? The three modes of material nature take over, and then they, you know, get this desire fulfilled. You know, they will inspire me to go to a sweet shop, purchase some gulab jamuns, and then eat it. Okay. So technically, the spirit soul is not doing anything. Okay. Spirit soul only desires, Krishna sanctions, and the three modes of material nature, they execute that desire. Okay. So if this understanding is there, then a person will never be situated in false ego. They will always remain in the true ego. Okay, this doership mentality is something which we have to give up. Okay, and this doership mentality, mind you, this gives rise to pride at the end of the day. Okay, or ahankar, which we are talking about. And just like anger, greed, lust, pride is also one of the key enemies of any of any spirit soul. So now the question is how to curb this pride, how to crush this pride. Okay, crushing the pride, like we have to crush the false ego. Okay, we have to crush this body consciousness, we have to crush this doership mentality. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. Now, having said that, implementing this in our day to day life is very, very difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. Okay, theoretically, yes, I may know that, I may understand that I am not this body, I'm a spirit soul, I'm eternal parts and parcel of Sri Krishna, I'm a loving servant of Krishna. But then, how many of us are actually able to execute this in our everyday life? Okay, we all are struggling. We all are struggling. Yes. And what to speak about us? You know, like even if we take the example of our founder Acharya A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, right? He was born in a very nice devotee family. Both his parents were wonderful devotees, okay, and his father was specially, very much inclined that Srila Prabhupada should learn to play mridanga. Okay, he used to support him very nicely when Srila Prabhupada as kid he used to take out Rath Yatra in his neighborhood with other children, right? So we have seen that he was given all the congenial environment. Okay, but when Prabhupada was growing up, when he was in college, and even as a young man, he was very much inclined, towards the freedom movement, freedom fight that was going on at that time in India, right? And he was very much, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi at that point of time, right? So, his Krishna consciousness, like manifested only after he met his spiritual master Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Right after that, he became very serious about Krishna consciousness. After that, he became very serious about executing the orders which his spiritual master had given him. Right, and in his own words, Srila Prabhupada himself said, that it took him around 18 to 20 years to become Krishna conscious. Okay. Now, just imagine a personality, a great personality like Srila Prabhupada, if he is saying that it took him 18 to 20 years, then what to speak about fallen souls like us, right? We are nowhere in picture, correct? So it's easier said than done. The bottom line is that it's easier said than done. Okay, theoretical knowledge, yes, we may have, but in order to implement that in our day-to-day life, it takes a lot of practice, and lot of patience and a lot of discipline. Military discipline. It has to be like that. Okay. So, but one thing is for sure that Krishna consciousness is so strong that from any point of time, if an individual, takes it up very seriously and very sincerely, okay, with the discipline, then definitely they will make progress and ultimately they will be successful in, crushing the pride, or ahankar that is there. Okay. So, what do we need to do in order to crush this false ego or crush this pride? First, we have to read the scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, this has to be done every day. If possible, ask your family members to sit together, spend 25 to 30 minutes every day, reading one or two shlokas of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Okay, that is reading the scriptures. That is point number one. Point number two, you have to be in association of devotees. Okay, you cannot be Krishna conscious in association with material minded people. Okay, take my words for that. So it's very, very difficult. Okay, so you have to be in the association of Krishna conscious devotees. You have to be in association of like minded people. Okay, materialistic people will only pull you down, and you will be going further and further down, actually, in your human life. So please choose your association very, very carefully. Okay, you have to be in association of devotees, sadhu sangha. That is the two. Point number two. Point number three, you have to honor Krishna prasadam. Okay, make it a point that I will try my best, if not always, then at least to the maximum possible extent, I will eat only that food stuff which has been offered to Sri Krishna, and I will accept it as a prasadam. Okay. Anything else I'll not touch until unless it's absolutely necessary. Okay. So this is point number three. Try to honor only Krishna Prasad and try to avoid any food which has not been offered to Sri Krishna. This is really difficult, especially for working professionals. Sometimes it becomes really challenging, but at least try your best to maximum possible extent. Okay, to follow this particular rule basically of honoring only Krishna Prasad. Okay, and fourth, final one is chanting. Okay, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. See, chanting is the base of any spiritual practice. Okay, so it is the most important thing, and you build on top of a strong base. Okay, so if your chanting is good, if your sadhana is good, then definitely all the other regulative principles will follow automatically. Okay, chanting will purify you from within. It will purify your heart. It will purify you. Okay, and once your heart is purified, your intelligence will be purified. With pure intelligence, the mind will also be pure. With pure intelligence and pure mind, the senses will automatically be controlled, and such a person will automatically be situated will be automatically situated in true ego only. Okay, they will have a very clear understanding of this fact that they are not the body, they are the spirit souls. They will keep Sri Krishna in the center of their lives, and all their activities will be revolving around Lord Sri Krishna and himself. Okay, and such people, as I have said earlier, they are already liberated souls. So there is no question of false ego creeping in. Once false ego is not there, obviously pride will also not be there. And what to speak of pride? Lust will not be there, anger will not be there, greed will not be there, right? So I hope this answers the question, Mataji. Once again, thank you so much for asking this wonderful question. And I hope people who have watched this video, they are satisfied with this. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.